Hey guys, good morning. Today is Tuesday, July 23rd. It is 6:20 right now. Market's gonna open in about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a few things here to update and we should be good to go. Good. One last thing. And it looks like we are good to go. So let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, looks good. All right, solid. So as people join into the room, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Going down to the 8 hour. Down to the 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour. Down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Like this level got hit already. Down to the 15. Down to the 10. Looks like this one got hit too. Clean that up. And it looks like we're good to go. So down over to the 1 minute on the market, the closer liquidity levels. There's a lot of liquidity sitting right here on the top side, guys. So if price swings up, it's probably gonna knock out all that liquidity. So it's a little messy here, but so looking at this right here, we have the closest level of liquidity below at 40,658. There's another level right below it. So this is probably going to get hit maybe pre-market. And then we have more levels of liquidity up here at 40,709. So we got a lot of liquidity sitting pretty close to current price. And yeah, I mean, it's probably going to get hit. Most likely pre-market or right on open. So, all right, guys, looks like majority of you guys are here so far. So good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, July 23rd, 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Steven. Morning, Sam. Morning, Sadie. Morning, Maria. Morning, everybody. Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. Let's see, Sam said, sorry, is my chart correct on YM? Um, it doesn't really look the same on my side. Let's see, it doesn't, oh, if you have some timestamps on there, I mean, it looks, let's see, I guess it looks fine now. Where it's just, its price has kind of moved around a bit, but it does look all right. So I'm looking at these candles right here. It looks proper, looks proper. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, it looks right. I think I'm just looking at it a couple minutes later. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Hey, morning, JJ. All right, guys. So the lower level of liquidity right here just got hit like we anticipated. I said it's probably gonna get hit pre-market because it's so close. So there goes the first level of liquidity right there getting hit. We got market opening up in about 4 minutes, but again, first level right there. If price drops any lower, target price point is going to be the 650 level right here. We got sessions sitting down below here. All right, so we got decent volatility here pre-market. The ATR is currently at 10 ATR. These candles are moving pretty decent right here pre-market. We'll see what happens here when market opens up. Hey, David, morning. All right. So again, guys, we have this lower level liquidity down here that got hit. It just got tapped real quick. Didn't necessarily blast right through it. Again, we have a ton of liquidity all around. So if you look over here on the chart, all the blue lines are liquidity. Looking over here at the calendar for today, we have Redbook. We had Redbook at 5:55, which is not necessarily it's a low impact news event. Mark that up right here. Then we have more news events over here at 7. So we got existing home sales month over month, and for this month at 7 o'clock, high impact. So I'm hoping we get some entries before 7. It's going to be the key thing there. Looking for and getting those entries before 7. Because by then, market's probably going to move a little crazy. So market is opening up in about 40 seconds, guys. Price is looking to push up right here. If it pushes up, we have a ton of targets right here. We have liquidity, we have the sessions, and we have the levels up here. Right now, price is currently at the Asia high. We'll see if it blasts through, if it gets some manipulation here on open. Again, you might want to be careful for the chop here the first couple of minutes, like what happened yesterday. Tends to repeat itself. All right, we got market opening up in 10 seconds. Market opening up in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is now open. So we got price kind of bouncing around this area right here. Again, if price pushes up, we got all that liquidity sitting up there. Looks like we're gonna get that first level of liquidity getting hit right here. Continue to climb up from where it's currently at. Again, you guys want to be careful on the first touch. Like I said earlier, this lower level right here got touched, but it didn't actually blast through. Same with this one right here. It got touched, but it didn't blast right through. So this is a chop that I was kind of warning you guys about earlier, and the same situations that were happening on yesterday's market. So during yesterday's live session, you guys saw this happen a lot, right? I mentioned, when you're taking liquidity, you want to be careful because it typically will tap it on the first one, not actually push right through. That's exactly what happened here. Pre-market tapped it, didn't push right through. The second touch right here, it's probably going to push right through now. And there we go. Price pushes right through it, kind of like anticipated. So price from here pushed down from the liquidity, dropped down about 15 points. And there we go. As price starts to dump a little lower. So if you guys are looking for these liquidity entries, you probably want to wait for after the first touch, maybe the second or third touch. So we're currently bearish right now, as you guys can see. Price is below the pivots, trend meters red, pivots are angling down. So at this point, we're probably going to continue looking for some sells. So I'll look for a market flow entry here. Target price point is going to be the levels down below. Check retail sentiment real quick. Retail sentiment is 68% short. That indicates that 68% of retail traders are currently selling right now. You guys have to remember that today is, again, like I said, it's going to be very tricky like yesterday, but it's going to be even more tricky because it is Trap Tuesday, like earlier. So if you guys waited for that second touch of liquidity down below, went to full TP, same with the one above it, pushes back above later, it's probably going to push right to the full TP. So same thing that I warned you guys about yesterday with liquidity, wait for the second touch or even the third touch. The first touch typically doesn't push right through. Also, because the trend here was bearish, I wasn't really looking for any buys here until price really pushed up a bit higher and climbed up to confirm the shift in trend. So looking at this right here, price is still trying to make down to the target's actually going to be lower. It's going to be over here at the sessions. This is the Asia low right here. So I'll be looking for this to swing up, swing back down, and hit target right there, the Asia low. The volatility is actually not that high. The candles are spiking a bit, but the volatility is not that high. It's pretty normal right now. So again, we haven't gotten that retracement back to the upside. I'm looking for price to push up slightly, come back down sharply, and make its way down to the target, which is going to be these sessions down here, Asia low. Still watching it right here. All right, so price is starting to climb down even further. Again, I'm going to look for that retracement. Retracement still hasn't happened. Looks like price is starting to consolidate here a little bit. If price starts to consolidate, you want to be careful because this is probably going to be the chop that I was warning you guys about. You don't want price to just be going sideways like this. You want price to actually be moving. So you want price to spike up, come back down, or just continue climbing down from where it's currently at. There's no other entries here available right now. None that I can see at least. There was a high-low scalp that came up right here. There was a pivot scalp that came up right here. But other than that, there's not really much else. The volatility here is kind of low for the most part. Candle bodies are about 15 points or less. The entire candle size is around like 22. All right, so price is climbing back down to the Asia low right here. Again, price is going sideways like we warned about. If this is the chop that we don't want to be trading in. So in order for me to take a market flow entry, I need to see some movement here. All right, so price is pushing down, hit that level of liquidity right there. Again, I'm warning you guys from earlier, don't take the first level of first touch of liquidity. I probably wouldn't take this one here because it was right at the sessions. but I'm expecting a fake out here. For one, a fake out because it's been happening for all the liquidity, but for the most part right here, it's at the session. So that's another reason why I'm expecting a possible fake out. If price drops lower from this point, the next target price point is going to be this level down here. So the good thing about this is that we're getting some more direction. Price broke out of the chop area right here that we were expecting, and price is now starting to drop down quite a bit. So the thing to look out for here would be the possible fake out. And there's a fake out right there that I mentioned. There's a double body rejection right there for a V1 if this closes green. And you just want to be careful for this whole area right here for the sessions, because this is typically where the fake outs tend to happen. So we'll see right here what happens off this candle. The price action off this right here, if it closes green, is a V1 variation pattern, also a CV pattern. This is going to be a reversal pattern. So what might happen here is price might swing up a bit, and then it might come back down. Or second scenario is price swings up and completely reverses right here, back to open. If price pushes up, target price point is going to be opening price right there. So here we go with the swing back up. This candle is going to close as a reversal CV and V1. We have 3 seconds left on it. How much did this come down from? All right, so we got price pushing up right here. I don't think it's going to be really tight for a market flow if this comes back down, if anybody wants to take it. It's going to be right at the sessions. It's got 35 seconds left on the candle. I don't think it's going to come down right now, personally. It's got 20 seconds left on it. If this comes down for market flow, I'm not going to take this one. It's too close to the sessions when it comes back down. I don't even think it's going to come down that far, at least not yet, not on this specific candle. But it'll push up a little bit more. Yeah, so it didn't come down. There's no market flow entry on that one. Here goes, price pushes up a bit higher. It's got a pending buy signal. Personally, I'd rather take buys here, well, for the day. So, but I'll watch it if there's a market flow entry. There's a possible market flow right here, guys, if anybody's looking to take it. I'm going to hold off on this one right here. Like I said, there's a pending buy signal. This is happening off the reversal right here. So there goes a market flow entry if anybody took it. I'm not in this position though. For me personally, I would rather take a buy if we do get that swing back to the upside, but I think this will probably hit and then it'll probably swing back up higher. But again, I'm not in this market flow entry. I didn't like that there was a pending buy signal there. Whenever there's a pending buy signal, it kind of throws me off a little bit because it just indicates that momentum is trying to swing back up. On top of that, we have the double body right here. So I'm glad we didn't take that entry because you can see right here, this is why pending buy signal is another red flag. We don't really classify it as a red flag, but if you have an entry and the buy signal has already came up, the opposite signal, it's probably going to push in that direction eventually. So didn't take the entry there for the market flow. Like I said, whenever I see a pending signal like that, it's probably going to push up at least 15 points, which will hit your stop loss. So, okay, if price continues to climb up from where it's currently at, the next target price point right here is going to be the opening price. This could be a possible breakout V3 continuation, like the actual breakout. If anybody wants to take that, this could be possible climb up to the opening price up here. See, Nick said if it rejects sessions, might take the market flow. Yeah, I mean, the trend's still bearish here, so this can still swing back down. So, I mean, this can happen right here as well. There's two things that can happen at this point. Market flow can happen here, or market flow can happen up here at the sessions, or market flow can happen in the opposite direction. Push up, swing back up from there. This is ideally what I'd look for. I'd look for the market flow to the upside. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. There's another market flow entry right here for a sell. I'm not in this position. Again, I'm looking for I preferably would rather take some buys. But again, there's another market flow that could be happening right here as well. Price came up, bounced off the pivot. The ATR is decent right now, and the volatility is pretty decent. So this is enough for it to bounce up, come back down, hit its TP, and then maybe continue climbing up from where it's currently at. But I'm not comfortable taking sells right now because if you look at retail sentiment, it's currently 67% short. Looking over here at CNBC, I mean, it's pretty neutral right now. So I'm not really inclined to take any sells at this very moment, especially because the volatility here isn't super clear. I'd rather take some buys. So I'm just waiting for this to swing back up, which I do think it will swing back up eventually. There was also a high-low momentum scalp here. I think CJ caught it, bounced off the sessions right there with the double body V1 variation CV pattern. And then it bounced up here, buy signal broken close past pivots 1 and 2. And that was a high-low momentum scalp entry. But again, I'm focusing on these market flow entries, preferably for some buys, of course. Yeah, Freddie said they're just playing, waiting on us to FOMO. And with the first scenario, looking for the bounce there. Yeah, same here, Freddie. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. I mean, if price comes back down further, that's completely fine, right? I can take it if it's confirmed. Right now, it's not really confirmed yet, but if I see price come back below and climbs down from here, then okay, great. I'll take the entry. But right now, I don't like this middle area because it's starting to shift, right? It's in between the pivots. At this point, price can really go in either direction. It can climb up higher, or it can break below and climb back lower. Yeah, exactly. Nick said all liquidity up here. That's another reason. So there's so many reasons to take buys or look for buys here, right? Because there's so much liquidity up here. So there's more reason for price to push up than reason for price to push down. It's already at the sessions. There's not really much down here. There's liquidity and stuff, but not really a big reason for it to continue climbing lower, right? Climbing higher, there's more reason because there's a ton of liquidity that has not been tested yet. We have opening price up here. If price does go back to open, we have a sessions right there. There's a lot of things here for price to hit if it does continue climbing up from where it's currently at. So again, we're just going to wait a little bit. It's going to take some time here because the volatility isn't very consistent. So you can see from the volatility here, it picks up a little bit, then it dies, and it picks up, and it dies. Not really consistent to the point where we can just ride it for the most part. Now this looks like a typical summer market, right? Choppiness. Looks like it's creating a range right here. So looking at the range at this point, the range is from the 600 point price point and the 700 price point. So we have a 100 point range right here from this lower point right here up to this level right here. Just ranging back and forth. I mean, you could trade within the range, but you want to have some sort of confirmation here. All right, so there's two different price points. If price pushes down lower, it's going to push back down to the sessions right here for a retest. If it pushes up, it's going to push up to the opening price right here. So just a couple things here to look at. I was hoping we get our entries before 7, but because the volatility here is so low, I don't know if we're going to get that right now. So there's a possible market flow entry right here for a buy. But again, the volatility is too low. You don't want to trade within this chop right here. Whenever you guys see price go sideways and you see like big wicks, it doesn't even have to be big wicks. Once you see wicks like this, a lot of wicks, and price goes sideways, this is basically just choppiness right now. So again, right there, price is bouncing off. This could be a possible market flow entry again for a buy, but the trend here hasn't really confirmed yet. So you can see the trend meter is still red. Price is still below the pivots. The pivots here haven't crossed over yet. It tried to cross over earlier, but it didn't really have any luck actually pushing up. So now at this point, price is just going back and forth. It's going back and forth. As you guys remember, today is Trap Tuesday. There's a lot of traps that are going to be set up here. If this happens right here and we get the sell signal, I might just start looking for some sells here, right? If price retraces up, comes back down hard, might just start looking for some sells here. The pending sell signal is a possible indication that price is ready to come back down further to retest these sessions right here, the Asia low. So I'll be looking out for it right here, looking for price to push up and then come back down for a market flow. Not yet, but I need price to retrace back up. We got 46 seconds on this candle. It's a lot of time. All right, so price swings back down hard. I'll be looking to take this market flow entry here for a sell. It's got to come back down pretty hard, though. We have 30 seconds left on this candle, so it's a lot of time. It's kind of what I'll be looking for right here. So I'm watching it as it comes back down further. It's not going to come down. There's no entry there for market flow. So got to wait for it again. Steve said, I believe there's high impact news coming up. Yeah, there's news over here at 7 o'clock, Steve. It's new home sales. And that's why we were trying to get our entries in before then, but or existing home sales at 7. That's why we were trying to get our entries in before then. But the volatility here, there's just no direction. There is volatility, but there's just no direction. So price is pushing back up. Again, price is just chopping between this area right here. I'm a little glad that price is pushing up because that's kind of where I want to trade anyways. But I mean, I would have been okay with the sell too if price did come back down hard. 647. All right, guys, we got 13 minutes till 7. As we get closer and closer to 7 o'clock, I'm gonna kind of ease off a little bit, wait for the news to pass, and then from there I'll continue looking for some entries. Typically, we want to get our entries in before 7, but in some situations like today, because we did not get our entries before 7, I'll be looking for a possible opportunity to take entries after 7, of course. It's probably not going to happen right away, but it'll probably happen closer to, I'd say like 7:30-ish. Yeah, CJ said that candle engulfed the entire structure, right? So this is what I mean about not trading in the chop, right? Because when you're trading in the chop like this, you get these like huge manipulated candles. You get like a candle, a bunch of small candles, you get one big one, it engulfs all the smaller candles, comes back down. This one engulfs all the other candles again. Again, you'll have a couple smaller candles here, and then again, another engulfing candle, right? So you don't want to get caught in that because this is where you can get easily manipulated out, right? Big engulfing candle right here takes pretty much takes out all the lows or all the people who are selling, comes down again right here. People chase the sell, and then it just pretty much wipes everybody out again. And that's what you don't want to get caught in. So the chop's always dangerous to trade in because you can be trading within the chop, but when you least expect it, price might come right back up, right back down. So for example, price pushed up here slightly. I wouldn't be surprised if you get a big red candle and just wipes all these buyers out, right? So just be smart about it. It's still early in the week, guys. It's Tuesday. We have today, and then we have 3 other days to go. We got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday still to go. So if anything, Trap Tuesday, only take the quality entries. Every entry should always only be a quality entry, but Tuesdays probably those days where you shouldn't take the riskier ones because last thing you want to do is get caught in the trap. So right here, let's see. We're starting to get a shift in trend. So you can see the pivots over here are shifting. You can see the trend meter down below is also shifting. The divergence here is now bullish. It looks like price is still getting pulled back into the chop right here. We have 10 minutes till news. All right, so for my market flow entry, I'm probably going to look for a price push up, bounce off the sessions, and push into the liquidity over here. First target still not hit. All right, another pending sell signal here. So I'm looking at the wicks. The wicks are like pretty big on both sides. I mean, I think price can still go in either direction here. This is a possible market flow for a buy. I mean, I wouldn't take it, but it's a possible market flow for a buy. Again, I won't take any trades in this middle area right here. There's just too much uncertainty with regards to like where price is going to go. You can really push in either direction. You can push up here, then I'll look for some buys. You can push down here, then I'll look for some sells. All right, no direction at all. So, all right, guys, we're gonna sit tight right here and just wait. There is just nothing to take. We got 6:51, about 9 minutes till 9 minutes till news. All right, let's see if price is ready to come down. So it looks like price might be finally ready to come down from where it's currently at. As we get closer and closer to news, you're going to start to see some volatility pick up because you're going to get some pre-news movement. The news for today is forecasted to be, it's mixed. So the first one up here is forecasted to be negative. The one below here is forecasted to be positive. So it's pretty mixed. You're probably going to see some volatility on both sides. It doesn't necessarily mean price is going to continue climbing that way, but that is, kind of what the news is forecasting for today. All right, so let's see what happens here. There could be a possible levels entry here. That's one opportunity, levels entry, possible market flow entry, possible breakout V3 continuation or breakout V3 entry right here. So let's see if the breakout V3 hit earlier. So if you guys take the breakout V3 right here, the actual breakout V3 looks like it hit full TP right there. There's another breakout V3 continuation coming up right here, but a little tricky. A little tricky because it's still in the chop. So again, this is a possible breakout V3 continuation playing through. It'll probably push down to the sessions if it pushes down to where it needs to go. For me personally, I'd be looking for the possible market flow entry. Swing back up, come right back down. We got news coming up in about 6 minutes, so probably gonna hold off on any entries from now until then, especially because there's no continuous movement. But you're getting that volatility, like we mentioned earlier, the volatility pre-news. We got 2 high impact news events, a couple of medium ones, a bunch of low impact ones, but the main ones to focus on would be the existing home sales. So yeah, I guess we'll just wait. I think the volatility here will be pretty flat anyways. Yeah, so Freddie said he's stuck in a trade right now. Might have to just take partials because it's getting close to news. So we got some volatility right there. One of two things are going to happen. Price is either going to go flat or price volatility to pick right back up. The thing with the news here is forecasted on opposite directions. So we have forecasted negative here, forecasted positive. So, I mean, price can really just whipsaw in either direction. That's why you see over here, we had some volatility to the downside. Now we're getting some volatility to the upside. And at this point, price might just start to go flat by the time news hits right here. Yeah, existing home sales doesn't usually have price spike like when it's released, but it's going to have some follow through. So typically when I see existing home sales, I see some pre-market, some pre-news movement, and then I see the follow-up after where it continues. There was a market flow entry right here, very quick one. Again, I wouldn't take it because it's right next to the news. So I would just sit tight. But yeah, it is a market flow type pattern. This is what I was looking for to take. I was looking for price to push up, come back down, and it looks like it's about to hit TP, or it already did, yeah. The only problem is that it's too close to the news, so I obviously would not take that trade there. But that is the market flow entry that I was looking for. When price was down here, I said, okay, I'm gonna wait for price to come up, give me a market flow. That's what it did. But again, 4 minutes till news, it's a little too risky. All right, looks like we're gonna chill out for like about 3 minutes right now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we'll just wait until news passes. Once news passes, we'll see how the market reacts to the news. And then from there, we'll look for some possible opportunities for entry. But yeah, it looks like the market's gonna get flat right here. So we get closer and closer to 7 o'clock. So we had volatility in both directions. We had a drop right here and then a climb right back up. It's pretty much coming back to where it was earlier, which is going to be around this middle area right here. So right here, we had the pre-news volatility movement came down slightly. Now we're having the correction back up. It's probably going to end up right here when news happens. And then from there, it's going to climb up or it's going to climb down. All right. Got news coming up in about a minute, guys. All right, let's see how it reacts. All right, 1 minute till news. There might not even be a reaction to it. It might be a late reaction. So be careful if you don't see any movement like right when the news candle happens, because it's going to happen eventually. You know, it's a high impact news event. So there's always going to be some sort of reaction to it, whether it be a lot, whether it be a little bit. There's going to be some reaction to it to some extent. So the timer's right here. You can see there's about 40 seconds till the news event is released. I'm surprised the volatility is so low today. The ATR is at 19. So we're like mid-session right now. Even right here between 6:30 and 7, there wasn't really much direction. It's pretty much sideways throughout the day. So it was in this, the chop that we anticipated did exactly that, right? So I mentioned right before market open, I said, be careful for the chop like what happened yesterday. And that's exactly what happened here. It's the same exact chop. Not too much direction, a little bit of volatility, but not very much direction at all. All right, here goes the news candle. That's high impact news right there. We're actually not getting any movement here. It's still pretty flat. Let's check the news. So all of the high impact news is actually negative. So existing home sales negative, existing home sales month over month also very negative. This is actually very negative. It was negative 0.7 last month. They're forecasting it to be 3%. It's actually negative 5.4. So it's they missed the mark by negative 8.4. It's a lot. So let's see how price reacts to it. I think people are just as confused as we are. So it looks like there's some manipulation here, even though the news is negative. Looks like price is going to the upside, which is completely fine with me because I want it to go to the upside. However, I'm looking for the shift here. So we're still looking for the shift here in the trend. The trend has not shifted yet, and that's kind of what I'm aiming for. All right. So we're starting to get a push to the upside right here. This could be a possible market flow entry, but it's not ready to take anything here. It's too close to news right now. Again, this could be a possible market flow entry. Once the volatility picks back up, I'll start looking for some entries. The volatility right now is just a little too low. But you can see right there, just hit full TP. So you can see how price came up, came down, shot right through. Price is now pushing past the earlier news and the sessions right there. Let it climb up a little bit. Possible area of manipulation right here. So it's rejecting off the sessions right there, but it's too close to the liquidity level. So I don't know if you're trying to take that right there, Nick, but I think it's too close. I need price to actually push it a little higher and then retest it. Target price points can be opening price right there. Again, I'm looking for price to push up a little bit, come back down, retest, and push up from here. So a couple of structures that I'm looking for here is I don't need the pivots, but I'll be looking for price to retest either the sessions or even the opening price. So market flow and trigger is still running. There you go, full TP on that market flow right there. It's probably going to push up and knock out all of the liquidity up there. First target hit right here for back to open. So again, I'll be looking for this here to pull back and continue climbing from where it's at. It's got 40 seconds left on the candle. It's got a lot of time. So I need a bit of a sharp retracement here. We got 15 seconds on this candle. Liquidity right here is getting hit. So if you guys waited for that second touch, like I mentioned earlier, looks like price is going to blast right through it. All right, so liquidity over here is getting pushed through. Again, the first touch, you guys want to be careful for. Look for the second or third touch. If you guys waited for the second touch right here, you guys can see it finally blasted through. Yeah, it went right through right there. So again, I'm gonna look for the retracement because it's on the first touch right here on this liquidity. Look for the retracement, bounce off and come right back up. Possible levels entry right here as well. I'll clean this level up right here. I'll leave this one up since you guys know where that first touch is at. All right, the volatility here is starting to die down a bit. So I'll leave these levels of liquidity alone. If price pushes up higher, the target price point is going to be the sessions right there. I'm looking for that retracement. Here we go. As price retraces back down, be looking for price to probably bounce off the pivot and then continue right back up. It's just the volatility right here is too slow. I mean, it's making a climb and then now it kind of dies out a little bit. Still has these upper areas to hit, sessions, liquidity up there. If you guys wanted to take a market flow off the liquidity here, you could have done that too. I mean, there's a different structure that you can take market flow off of. I like to take it off specific price structure like the pivots, levels, opening price, sessions, etc. But if you want to take them off a lower structure, you've done that as well. All right, so the volatility here is pretty much flat. Nice. Freddie said took the liquidity with us. Fine for the day. Thank you, Sean. Definitely. Nice work, Freddie. Yeah, I know you were trapped in that position earlier. Kind of a messy entry, but did good. All right, so the first target right there got hit. There goes all the liquidity right there, just got knocked out. So if you guys took any liquidity right there, there's a lot of liquidity sitting up there. Next target is going to be the levels right here. So I'm just looking for some market flow, but the volatility here just isn't, it's just not really there. You'll see there's like one candle with a lot of volatility. The rest are kind of slow. All right. So what I'm looking for here is a retest of the sessions and a volatility spike back up. So if this swings back up here, possible entry, it's not going to happen here because the candle's about to close. Might come even lower down here. All right, so I don't really like this area right here. I want price to come down a bit further, come back up, but it's too close to the sessions. I'd rather have it come up and then retest it or come below and then push up from there. I don't want to trade where price has to cut through the sessions like this. So either stay above this area or stay below this area with enough space for us to hit our TP before it has to come back and retest the sessions there. Yeah, Drew said an MPS would be nice too. Yeah, the only problem is it's right at the sessions right here too. The MPS would have happened right here at the 40, but it would have to cut through the sessions again, which just be a little tricky. Like I don't mind it rejecting off the sessions, but having to break through it is what I'm more concerned with. All right, so we got price just kind of sitting up here. It's going back into consolidation and chop within the sessions right here. Again, I'd rather have price come down a bit further and then come right back up. This is as low as I'll take it, or like right here. We got 30 seconds left. This could be a possible market flow if it swings up, but it's going to be right at the session. So it's going to be a no for me. I'll climb down a bit lower. So this is what I would prefer. For price to come down a bit lower and then possibly give us a V1 variation pattern down here, reversal, and then a correction back up. I'll come down a little lower from where it's currently at. All right, this is going to be like right at the dot, guys. So if you guys want to take this as a market flow, you can take it. It's probably going to come back and retest the sessions up there. But it's going to be right at the session. So I'm going to have to watch it just in case. There's a pending sell signal on this, so I'm probably not going to take it. Yeah, I'm not going to take this one. Maybe wait for the next one. It's got 30 seconds left on. I'll leave it here if you guys want to take it. But because of that sell signal, again, like I discussed earlier, it's a little tricky. And it's really close to the sessions right here. So if you're going to take it, make sure to pull out right when it gets to the sessions. It's got 15 seconds left on this candle. It's probably not going to fill. It's not looking like it. We have 10 seconds left. 5 seconds and not going to fill. So here, if price pulls down hard enough, it didn't pull down hard enough yet, but if it pulls down hard enough and swings back up, this could be another market flow entry setting up right here. All right, if this swings back green, this could be market flow. I'll be watching it right here. It's got 20 seconds left on it. Still hasn't swung back up yet. Preferably, I'd like to bounce off that opening price right there. So I'm watching it right here. It swings back up. It's got 10 seconds left. Probably not going to swing back up at this point. Yeah, there's not going to be an entry there. All right, so the volatility is a little low. Another opportunity here for a market flow again. But again, I need price to come down, bounce off the sessions, and climb up from there. If there's no market flow down here, then I'll look for it to push up, bounce off again, and provide market flow from this lower area. But I like that price is down here again because now there's space for us to take the market flow. Yeah, I'll just be watching for it. Got 27 seconds. It's got some time here. We got 15 seconds. I'm going to pay attention to the next following candle because the market flow might come up a little too quickly, like it's been happening lately. So I'm going to look for that spike down and a push right back up, possibly off the either the pivots or anything below. So looking for a little push down and then push back up. So price is pushing up, but it hasn't retraced back down yet. It's got 30 seconds left on it right here. Again, I'm gonna look for it to pull back. I need that pullback first before I can start looking for the market flow. I'm just gonna be focused on the charts, guys, because this thing happens super quickly. I mean, we've seen this happen so many times in the past where we just don't pay attention for like 1 second, pulls back really hard, and then it shoots right back up. So it's probably not going to happen on this candle, maybe the next one. All right, so there's still no pullback here. Again, I don't want price to push up too high because I don't want to be too close to the sessions right here. Preferably, I'd like price to come down from where it's currently at right now and then push up so that we can ride this up. I know there's a pending buy signal there. So this is working in our favor. The only problem is that there's just not enough time for us to, yeah, if it comes up again right here, I'm probably not going to be able to take it. Because again, it's too close to the sessions right there. If anything, I'll wait for it to push up again right here and I'll take it at this higher point. But at this point, not going to take any trades at the sessions. So it's creating a new range. The range was down here before between 600 and 700. It's now between 700 and probably 800 up here. So the range just got pushed up a bit higher. There could be another market flow here, but again, like I said, I don't want to trade at the sessions. So I'll be looking for price to push up a little bit higher, retrace, come right back up from there. All right. Yeah, this market's just kind of frustrating. It's expected though. We are still in the summer market, guys. It's just the earlier part of summer, we didn't really have a lot of this consolidation and sideways movement. So I was expecting price to be more volatile, especially after what happened over the weekend with Biden dropping out of the race, Trump getting shot last week, etc. Um, the market's just not moving how I would have expected it to. I would have expected some turmoil here, but there's just not really much. For tomorrow, we have some high impact news again. Hopefully, this will actually push price around. But the news from today didn't really do too much. Yeah, CRX at insane levels of discipline. Yeah, you just got to be disciplined on days like this, guys, because there's a lot of ways to get faked out, especially because it's Trap Tuesday. I mean, there's a lot of times where I felt like, okay, I wanted to get into a certain trade, but but I ended up just, sitting back and waiting because it's just not worth the risk. I'm waiting for these entries to come to me. That's literally what I'm doing. So right here, we have price finally pushing up. Let's see if it actually pulls back. There's some volatility on this candle and a continuation back to the upside right there. So I've been looking for some market flow right here. Nick said that he is noticing slightly larger wicks on some of the candles on NinjaTrader versus TradingView. It looks the same to me, Nick. I'm not sure if anybody else is noticing that, but it looks exactly the same to me for the most part. 713 candle. Um, I don't have the numbers like exactly on my, oh wait, there's a market flow entry that's gonna come up right here, guys. Possibly. I'm gonna watch it right here if it pushes back up. It's got 10 seconds left on the candle right there. All right, so market flow entry right there. Oh shit, that was fucking loud. Super loud. My bad, guys. The entry is right there, so I gotta move my TP down a little bit. It was at 69.
Order submitted.
It's kind of laggy. So the volatility here is like really, really low. I was hoping the volatility would push up a bit higher, but volatility is pretty low right now. Pushing off the sessions right there. And the volatility is just really low right now. I got stopped out. That's all good. So I got stopped out on that trade, guys. The volatility, I thought, so in my opinion, I thought the volatility was going to pick back up right here when I saw this big candle, but then the volatility just died down again. So it's all good. I'm going to eat the loss on that one and move on to the next entry over here. But you guys can see with Trap Tuesday being today, it's just the volatility is not really, it's not really there because I was expecting this right here. So the pattern did play, the pattern lined up, but it didn't do exactly what I was looking for. I wouldn't be surprised if this shoots back up higher and it just continues to climb after. But what I was expecting here, what I was wanting to happen was for price to push up above the sessions. I saw some volatility on this green candle right here. I was expecting price to come down sharply and then climb up higher from here. But that's not what happened here. Price ended up bouncing off it slightly, and then it just died right there, the volatility, and then it spiked right here. And then I wouldn't be surprised if it spikes right back up from where it's currently at. But Nick, going back to what we were talking about earlier, it looks the same to me. I think because I don't have the exact numbers, I don't have them by the single digits, but it looks exactly the same to me on mine 427. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to make a big difference, Nick. It's like what's going to be off by like 1 point or 2 points. So I don't think it's going to make a big difference at all. Anyways, guys, I'm going to keep looking for the entries here. Look for possibly one more. But like I said, the volatility here is too low where we can't even get this move, like the price action that we're looking for. Again, right here, that these candles are super, super flat. I was expecting some of this movement here because we had some volatility here where price swung down. swung up, and then it came up from right there. So let's see. Let me just here, Nick. I just zoomed in. The numbers are exactly the same on mine. It's at 725 right here. It's probably at 724 right here on uh on Ninja. Yeah, the numbers are exactly the same, Nick. I'm not sure why yours looks different, but so I just zoomed in on my Ninja. That same candle you mentioned at 713. It's like literally at 40, 725, and right here it's exactly at 47.25. Yeah. So I don't know what's wrong with yours right now. Gotcha. Okay, yeah. So next day you refreshed it. It's all good numbers were matching, but tops of the candles weren't. Yeah, it looks the same on mine though. I didn't really see the difference. All right, guys. So we're still looking for some more opportunities here, but there's just nothing else that there's nothing to take right now. So if the volatility doesn't pick back up, I'm not going to force any more trades here. I'm just going to wait for something here to happen. But as you guys can see, the volatility here is just it's pretty spotty. You have a couple candles here where it picks up. This was mainly based off the news. So the news happened over here at 7 o'clock. This happened with the reaction to the news, came back for retracement, came right back up. And then for this entry right here, volatility just went completely flat. So let me go and just mark this up right here, document this loss. Currently for the week, we're at 2 net losses, not super bad. Not great, but obviously not super bad. We had 1 win, 1 loss on open yesterday, and then we had another loss right after. And then right here, we had 1 loss for the day. So we're at 2 net losses for the week so far. We go over here to the post for today. This entry came up at 717. You know, it just might be the case that well, I mean, it's hard to do. It's hard to not trade after 7 when there's no volatility before the market. So we kind of have to just sit around and wait. But for the most part, well, I guess we'll keep playing around with this week and see where it ends up going. I mean, these trades are for 1-to-1 anyway, so it's not really doesn't take a big eat into my accounts. I've also lowered my risk on all my PA accounts. So $500 risk, not that much. But we'll continue looking for some opportunities here. Again, if you guys look at the candles that are currently moving right now, it's pretty much a dead market. So these candles right here are not really moving too much. If you measure the candles, they're moving about less than 10 points. Yeah, there's no volatility here. If you measure all of the bodies right here, it's less than a 10-point consolidation. So it's really, really tight. All right, so I guess we'll just sit tight until there's some movement. Again, I'm going to look for price to push back up, retrace, push back higher, or let price push below. But right now, there's just no volatility, so I'm not expecting a push to happen anytime soon. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. It's just one of those weeks where the whole market is just kind of slow. We'll see if it picks back up tomorrow, but you know, looking at the calendar right now, it's not really doing much. Yeah, it's not really doing too much here. The good thing is that we have NFP next week. So next week is probably going to be very volatile, of course, with NFP. But for the rest of this week, let's see, we have S&P Global Services PMI. I think tomorrow will be pretty volatile around news, 6:45. So 6:45 to 7, I think we'll get some volatility. Thursday we'll get some decent volatility. I don't think it's going to be very crazy. We'll have some spikes pre-market. It might move a little bit, but not enough to. It's not going to spike like 100 points or anything like that. Okay, so I think price will pick back up a little more from Wednesday to Friday because we do have PCE price index on Friday. We have initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims tomorrow or Thursday. And then tomorrow we have PMI news, basically inflation news. Yeah, I think today's going to stay pretty flat. So it's starting to pick back up right here a little bit. Again, you guys want to be careful with it being Trap Tuesday. You can see the same traps are being set up all throughout the session. You'll get some volatility initially, and then it'll just die flat. So right here, price is starting to pick up a little bit with regard to volatility. You'll see it kind of bounce back and forth, and then eventually just go flat. It's nice Trap Tuesday. Not really much else to pull from it, but this is typical for Trap Tuesday. You get some initial volatility spikes and price kind of dies down for a little bit. Then you get some volatility spikes in the opposite direction and it dies down a little bit. It's the same thing that's been happening for majority of Tuesdays. And this is what I mean about it. So market opened right here at 6:30, price came down a little bit, volatility died down, reversed, came up a little bit, price went sideways for a good little while, reversed slightly. It's not a big reversal, but it's just a spike in the opposite direction. So, I mean, if you want to look for the possible spike in the opposite direction, you can. So look for the, what I would recommend over here is if you're looking for something like that, look for some consolidation and then look for the push back up. So you can see over here, price consolidated, spike down, consolidated, spiked up, consolidated, spike back down, consolidation, probably a spike back up. That's typically how the market moves on Tuesday. I mean, we could probably put together a strategy that works on Trap Tuesday very well, but for me personally, I think for Trap Tuesday, I'd rather just not trade because it's hard. It's hard to really predict when the spike is going to happen. And the problem with these spikes is that they're not very large, right? Like they'll push up a little bit. Like for example, here price came down. You probably would have spotted the spike right here on the buy signal. I guess you could have taken it for like a decent move. Again, price went sideways right here. You see the sell signal. You could have taken that for a little sell. Price consolidated right here. See the buy signal. You could have taken that for a little buy. Price consolidated right here. Saw the sell signal. You could have taken that for a little sell. So I mean, technically, yes, you can trade during these types of conditions, but I do find it a bit risky. So again, right here, price went sideways, sell signal. Taking that. So I guess if you really wanted to take a trade right here, you could just wait for the buy signal and wait for it to close. So price is consolidating right here sideways. If you see a buy signal, I wouldn't be surprised if that pushes up at least, 15 to 30 points. So if you really, really want to trade during today, Trap Tuesday, that's probably the pattern that you want to look for. Wait for the consolidation. Consolidation is happening right here. So next, you just want to look for that buy signal. Once the buy signal closes, you can anticipate at least a bit of a push. All right. So here goes the dead candles again right there. It is, I mean, it's doing exactly what we anticipated. All right, Joe. Yeah, Joe said, see you all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Exactly. So if you guys are done trading for the day, I mean, I'm done. I'm probably gonna close out my Ninja Trader. You guys can see here that there's nothing going on. It's just a sideways market, sideways movement. These candles are very, very small. If you really want to take a trade, like I said earlier, wait for that breakout that happens after the consolidation. So the consolidation is happening right here. Once the buy signal comes up, it's probably going to push up at least 15 points. But again, there's just not really much happening here. Like you can't really take anything else. It's hard to catch any other entries here due to the due to the low volatility. Because you can technically catch a trade, but if your stop loss is too tight, like for example, our stop loss here is super tight, right? It's 15 points. So if it pulls back at all, it's going to stop you out, just like it did earlier over here. Like it stopped me out right here, and I said, okay, I wouldn't be surprised if this swings right back up eventually. And that's exactly what's happening here. Once the buy signal comes up, again, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing just climbs up and pushes up to its TP. So there goes the buy signal right there that we mentioned. It's pending. It's not looking like it's going to close because the volatility is so low, but it is pending right there. And it looks like if this does close, it's probably going to push up at least 15 points. Didn't close right there. Another buy signal pending. So the consolidation happened right here. The buy signal is closing. The only problem with this here is that it's going to be at the sessions, guys. So just again, another issue right there is because it's going to be right at the sessions. All right. That buy signal does not look like it's going to close. Market volatility here died down again. Eventually, when it does close, you're probably going to see a push to the upside. I mean, you can push up at the last second here. There again is pending. It's got 13 seconds left on it. I'm not going to take this trade, but I'm just marking it up for you guys to show you guys what we were just looking at. It's at the sessions though, so this is considered a red flag. A lot of manipulation happens around this area. So this would have been what we just discussed, right? Consolidation, buy signal. Again, because there's not really much direction here, the problem is that this can easily pull back a little bit, before pushing through. I think eventually it'll push through though. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to close out my Ninja. I don't want to risk taking any FOMO trades or anything dumb here. It's typically what tends to happen during a market like this. All right, guys, so price is pushing up right there. It's doing exactly what we anticipated. And this is how we come up with strategies, right? You just look for patterns in the market. These patterns tend to repeat themselves. And that's exactly what we saw today. I'm just not looking to FOMO into any trades. Like, for example, I probably would have FOMO'd into here for a late entry, but it's not really worth the risk, especially on a day like this where the market is just it's just flat, not very directional. Yeah, CJ said, I hope it pushes past this area for good. Yeah, I know, right? Same here. If it pushes past here for good, then it's probably going to continue climbing. But the way that the market's moving here, you can see the volatility is not there. If there was volatility, it would have spiked right through. It's only 15 points. Like, it's not a very big target to hit. And you can see here that it's just probably going to stay flat for a bit before it actually pushes through. I do think it'll push through, but it's not really going to be a super consistent push here. And there you go, full TP on that trade. So this is a strategy that I just came up with today. I mentioned I was just looking at the patterns here. Consolidation, sell signal, win, consolidation, buy signal, win, consolidation, sell signal, win, consolidation, buy signal, win, etc. So, this is how you can come up with strategies using my tools. You just look at patterns that happen in the market for that same day. So for today, unfortunately, I took one loss, which was over here. It was one loss taking a market flow entry. It was off this green candle right here. I was looking for price to come up, retrace, bounce off the sessions or levels, which it did right there, both of the levels. And then it just pretty much reversed right here for a bit before it came right back up. So you can see this whole area right here, basically a fake out. And then it swung right back up right here. So it's just a tricky market this week. I was hoping to come back to a pretty solid market like last week and the week before that. We've been on a pretty good streak so far with regard to good market conditions. So like earlier first weeks of July, let's just take a look at the results for the month of July so far. So looking over here at July, we're doing pretty decent for a market like this because this is summer. And looking over here at the July results. So we're currently at 13 wins, 5 losses, total profit of 120 points, total trades of 18 trades with a win-loss ratio of 72.2%. It's not amazing, but it's also not bad. Like the market, we only took market flow this month. Typically the win rate would be a lot higher, but because we are in a summer market, it's tough to get the volatility that we're looking for. So win-loss ratio is pretty decent. I know. I would say it's about average for the month so far. It's about average. But for a one-to-one strategy, this is actually pretty good. You know, anything above 50%, if you're taking a one-to-one strategy, you're going to be in profit at the end of the month. So that's the key thing. It's being profitable by the end of the week and by the end of the month. Let's see, Sam got out of the trade. Nice work, Sam. So Sam was holding on to it. Oh, he's holding on to the trade from earlier. Okay. So luckily, Sam over here was able to hold on to the trade from earlier over here, the market flow entry, and then it came right back up to close them out for profits. Nice work, Sam, on doing that. I mean, I wouldn't have done that, but glad to see you still got out of profit right there. Because I did expect it to come back up, you know, like it did come back up just like we expected, but not in the fashion that we wanted it to. I would have been better if it consolidated instead of coming down and then just shot up, but it's all good. It is what it is. All right, another entry right here for the sell. So the same strategy that we just talked about right now just came up again right here. Price consolidated for a bit, sell signal came up, and you can see right there, I push right through a TP. So same with this entry right here. It's the same strategy, guys. You know, like I said, you can use, like, in order for you to figure out what's working in the market, just look back, like what's been happening for the past like hour or so. For the past hour, the same patterns have been coming up. It's basically a pivot scalp entry. It's just without the trend, or it's just a momentum scalp, really. So you can see over here, same pattern again, just like what happened right here with the buy that I pointed out for you guys. So that one hit full TP. Again, right here, this one here hit full TP as well. Look for the consolidation, wait for that buy signal, take the buy. Wait for the consolidation, look for the sell signal, take the sell. They both hit full TP right there. Same with all of these over here as well. The trend here doesn't really matter because price is just chopping back and forth. So like you don't even have to look in the direction of the trend. You can kind of just wait for that momentum to come up, and it typically pushes through. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, you know, feel free to put them in the chat. Again, like I said, there's nothing going on here. So there's not really any need to force any trades unless you guys are trying to take these, I guess we'll call it Trap Tuesday trades that we kind of identified for the day. This type of strategy doesn't work all the time, but it's what's working today from what we've seen here, just analyzing what's the market structure and following momentum signal that would happen right after it. So again, just a reminder for this week so far, we've had 1 win and we've had 3 losses. So that puts us at a -2 net loss, which is not horrible. Again, like I said, I half my risk in half. So for today, I lost like 500 on my PA counts, not so bad. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad. As long as you guys lower your risk, the losses aren't going to hurt as much. Right? Because there's going to be times where the streaks will get higher and higher, or stronger and stronger, and then we'll be able to bounce back even harder from there. So yeah, I mean, from here, we're just gotta wait for the market to pick back up. I think for the rest of this week, it's going to pick back up as we get closer to the other news events. So tomorrow we have a lot of news events. We have pre-market news, goods trades balance at 5:30. Wholesale inventories, retail inventories. And then at 6:45, we have S&P Global Manufacturing PMI, high impact news right here, inflation news, new home sales, gas stock change at 7:30. Thursday, we have pre-market news, durable goods, jobless claims, initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims. And then during the day, not very much, some gas stock change at 7:30. Then on Friday, we have PCE price index, some more inflation news here. Michigan consumer sentiment at 7. And then we move on to NFP week next week. If anything, I might be a little more careful this week. Actually, we can't predict how the market's going to be tomorrow. So I'm going to trade the same way I normally do. and we'll just take it as is. If this week continues to be sideways, then I'm going to take off a little more risk, maybe look for only specific entries. But next week, I'm going to be ready to, bounce back if this week doesn't end up swinging back in our direction. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can message me on Discord. Looking over here, we have some team profits. Jacob over here locked in 417 for the day. Nice work, Jacob. And I think that's it for the day. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Again, today's a bit of a choppy day, as we expected. I was hoping the chop would stop. So we had a choppiness right here between 6:30 and 7. When price started to climb up right here based off the news, I was expecting price to continue climbing. However, we just went back into the chop. We had chop over here between the 700 and 600 mark. Price pushed up, then we have more chop right here. And I mean, realistically, price has been in this chop since the news over here at 7 o'clock. So for the past hour, prices pretty much has been going just sideways. It's been chopping between the 750 level and the 700 level. Fake outs on both ends. And that's kind of what we got caught in right here, a fake out, which could have easily went the other way. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for the next live session. So, all right, guys, if you guys don't have to trade, again, you probably don't need to trade because market's not doing anything, it's chopping. If you do want to look for an entry, though, just look for the sideways consolidation and then look for the buy signal and then try that out for another 10, 15 points. Otherwise, I'd call it a day, come back tomorrow fresh, and we'll be back